Hello, everyone. Welcome to MT4 Professional. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm host of today's live interactive session. If you have questions or comments, then in the chat box or in the Q&A panel on your Zoom control, enter your question or comment there. I'll be glad to get to them in the order that they're received. Today, we're going to be talking about trading strategies using the MT4 Professional Scanner and the MT4 Professional platform. I want to remind everyone that MT4 Professional and Resilient Traders are not investment advisory service. We are only here for educational purposes only. We cannot give you specific trade advice or tell you to buy or sell any instrument. But what we can do is teach and train you on our platform and our tools, our services and our software to develop a trading plan that is both consistently profitable and successful. Trading with futures, stocks, Forex, options, cryptocurrency can have a large potential for reward, but they also have a large potential for risks. Make sure you're aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. So please don't trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets, and never, ever, ever, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade a simulated account. And only then do you start to work on the mind game, because that's where 90% of successful trading is in the mind. I am Randy Lindsay, your trade coach and operations director here at MT4 Professional. My cohort in crime is Claudio Cardinale. He is our product development director and all things technology guru. So we are here today to teach you about trading strategies and about the MT4 Professional platform. We're going to talk about those strategies today. We're going to talk about what a scanner is, what MT4 Professional is. Of course, I'll give you a live demonstration of the platform and all the special features that we have. I will make a very special offer at the end of today's presentation. And all throughout today's presentation, I'll be making questions and answers available to you if you have any. Let's get right into trading strategies. There are a lot of different strategies people use: EMA and price, MACD and signal, moving average crossovers, interaction of just direct price action with the standard levels, EMA, price, MACD, signals, relative strength all together, even the ever popular alligator. There's all kinds of different strategies that are out there. The MT4 Professional Scanner can scan in real time all these strategies plus many, many more, and alert you when conditions are met for a profitable trade. We're not going to have any polls today, so I'm going to go right into the presentation. Again, if you have any questions, enter them into your webinar chat window or into the question and answer panel. I can see either one of those, so let me know and I'll be glad to respond. So looking at the different Forex pairs you have available to you on MT4, there's 50 of them, 20 CFDs, 9 different timeframes. Well, that's more than 630 different combinations to check. Do you really think that you can check all of these manually for trade setups? If something comes your way, you want to be able to jump on it. How often do you miss opportunities because you're looking at something else that's really not moving, or you're trying to decide whether it is or not? Well, today, if trading on different instruments, like all the different ones I mentioned, is a must if you're going to make trading profitable. You can't just have one instrument. Well, some people can. They only trade one instrument one time a day, certain things like that. But for most of us, you need to have multiple instruments to trade from, because there's always going to be a bull or a bear market somewhere. And you want to be able to find those markets that are moving and stay out of the ones that aren't. That way you get a much higher chance of getting a profitable trade. So trading uncorrelated instruments is a great way to remove uncertainty and to diversify your portfolio, and a trade scanner is a perfect solution for this. So a market scanner is an automatic tool that works for you, allowing you to scan the entire market situation at a glance for any symbol or time frame that meet your custom rules and that are based on standard or custom indicators. So it's not a signal provider per se, but a tool, and it allows you to analyze all the strategies that you want using the indicators that you want at your disposal. One simple example is the cross of two moving averages. This is by far one of the most popular ones I come across, and traders are asking me about all the time. Is that they have moving averages that cross to determine the direction of a trend, or to determine entry or exit points, or to determine whether you're in the bullish or bearish market, long or short term. Well, let's consider the different symbols I have listed here, different time frames. I want to see a spreadsheet layout like this, where if I have a bullish cross on a moving average, I want to see green. That tells me there's bullishness in that instrument. And if there's a bearish cross, then I want to see red, which indicates to me either a short trend or a potential downward move or an exit point. So the bullish cross is when the MA15 crosses over or on top of or greater than the MA30, the moving average 30. And a bearish cross is when the MA15 crosses under the MA30. Very simple concept, very easy to understand. If there's anyone out there who needs a little more explanation on that, let me know in the chat and I'll be glad to go over it again. But that's the simple crossover. So on a chart, it's just a simple up and down. So if I had a spreadsheet layout like this of a market scanner that could go through every instrument and show me on a layout like this the bullishness and bearishness of that on any time frame, man, that would be a valuable tool, and it would save me a lot of time. And I wouldn't have to worry about looking at all of my favorite instruments. They're all going to be displayed for me, so I can very, very quickly see that, oh, the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollars look like they're in short-term correction. They might be reverting back to the longer-term trend. I can see really nice trends in the euro pound and the euro dollar, also in the pound dollar and the dollar Canadian and the dollar Swiss. So it's very easy for me to look back at this and see those that are in transition, those that are in longer term trend, and I know exactly how to handle it. So Market Scanner really does all the work for me. So I can focus on the more important things, like managing the trade or getting my mindset where it belongs. Once set up, the Market Scanner does all the work. It searches all the conditions that meet all of your own rules. It's your strategy. Then it can alert you when conditions are met for a favorable trade entry or exit. So whenever these setups become true, say the M5 went from a red to a green here on the dollar Canadian, that would trigger an alert that gave you the opportunity to take that as a potential trade, whether you're in the office or whether you're out on the road. Because that's the nice thing about computers and electronics, is they can let you know when things set up without you having to always be watching it. So in this example, I'm looking at EMA and price. I'm looking at potential moving average, and I'm looking at price interacting with that. So if close of price is greater than a moving average or less than a moving average, I want to see green or red. Bullishness if it's greater, bearishness if it's less than, or okay. From that, then I can also see transition stocks, I can see correction stocks, and I can see potential trend change stocks, so reversals. So it's nice to be able to see these types of interactions across multiple timeframes for any instrument that I choose. I keep mentioning multiple timeframes. Well, did you know that if you trade with multiple timeframes, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? Well, this is due to correlation, and it's just one of the advantages of using multiple timeframe technical analysis. If you look at the longer term trend, you can see it is a trend in a specific direction over a period of time. These are 4 hours. But if you take a shorter approach on a 1 hour, you can see it becomes much choppier during that same period of time. The 15-minute, again, almost noisy. during that period of time. So if you're trading in the direction of the longer term trend on a shorter time frame market, then you're going to have a higher probability of a profitable trade, and you're going to be getting lower risk because you're not going to be trading any of the counter trends unless you want to. And if you want to take a counter trade against the overall direction of the trend, then make sure you keep your profit targets short. Take small profits along the way. Don't wait for home runs because you're not going to get them. They're going to very quickly correct and go right back in line with the longer term trend. That's exactly what we're trying to see there. So if you had a scanner, right, that could search for your setups based on your rules and verified with multiple time frame technical analysis, that would be also an extremely valuable tool. So here's a quick example to see how that does. Different instruments, different time frames. This is a 4-hour daily and weekly chart setup. You can see the scanners over here working hard, giving me bullish or bearish signals on 3 different instruments. Here it's looking for a cross of an exponential moving average. So price interaction with the moving average. Here I have a MACD cross where I've got the basic histogram, and this is the signal line. So when I see a cross above that, that's going to be a bullish or bearish signal. And down here, I have relative strength to give me whether I'm overbought, oversold, or if I am trending in strength or weakness. So that's the idea behind that. This particular strategy is looking at all 3. They're looking at a close greater than an EMA. It's looking for a bearish cross on the MACD, and it's looking for a positive slope outside of an oversold range to determine bullishness. It's just the opposite for bearishness. Bearishness would be defined as price under a moving average, a cross down or a bearish cross on the MACD, and a negative slope outside of overbought conditions. That would give me a condition for a short. All right, so those are the opposite sides of the trades. Here I got a signal to go long. That signal ended up in over 100 pips of profit on a particular trade if you followed the rules of this setup and scenario. Anytime you're moving in that direction, getting the signals to trade, then you're seeing that you have a really nice move. And that was given because of the longer term trend. If you see the longer term trend, it gave a MACD crossover. It also gave a rising relative strength. And the weekly chart gave a very nice exit from an oversold condition and a nice positive trend relative strength. So that's the nice aspect of that. So with that, coupled with these, coupled with this, it gave me high confidence to take the trade and to hold the trade to the logical end. So by taking trades in harmony with the longer time frame market, I get lower risk trade opportunities and higher probability entries. It's a powerful combination for any trader because it shows the importance of using multiple time frame technical analysis in your trading. A market scanner using multiple time frame analysis is an extremely valuable tool because it does all of this work for you automatically. The problem that we ran into at MT4 Professional is that we could not find a scanner that met our criteria or that really was useful. What we did find was ones that were too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer to use it. They were unstable, or maybe even a single tool that really wasn't integrated with the entire system. They were incompatible with a lot of the standard indicators on the platform, and there were a lot of other issues. And so what we did, our solution, was to develop our own. So as professional traders, we created MT4 Professional and the market scanner for our own private trading. And it became popular enough that other people wanted it as well. So now, once we've released it, it's the #1 market scanner on MT4 and MT5. It's a tool that allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique criteria and rules. So when you find a good setup, MT4Professional allows you to enhance that trading with technical, multi-time frame technical analysis, which really isn't easy to do on MT4 or MT5. So stay tuned. We're going to go into a live demonstration right now. So I'm going to go ahead and launch my MT4 platform. There it is. Let me go over here and set up a standard MT4. Now, this is not MT4Professional. Right now, I'm showing you just regular MT4 because I want to show you some of the nice features that MT4Professional gives you once you move over to that. So if you're used to MT4 and you already know how to use it, then you know you can set your windows up to be any size. They can be any pattern and some shape. If you have a specific profile that has multiple sizes, like I do here, I've got 3 different windows. Actually, there are 5 different windows and they're all different size shapes. If I were to expand this window, you can see that it fills all these windows, fill this area up. But if I wanted to make it smaller, notice it clips all of these bottom windows down here. Okay, so I don't want that. I don't like them being clipped. Also, if I resize anything, because these 3 are the same size, and then these 2 are the same size, but different from these, I can't just simply go up to my window and just do a quick redraw. It's going to mess everything up. So I have to manually redraw every window. Also, if I wanted to change my symbol on any of these, I have to run over here to my market watch, find the symbol that I'm interested in, drag and drop that symbol over onto the chart, and then I have to do that for all 3 of the charts themselves. And it gives me a setup, but it doesn't give me what it is I'm looking for. Also, the third thing is the tracking. If I wanted to do multiple time frame analysis, like right here, when I see on the longer time frame trend, the bullishness of the wide bar and the initial trend start, I want to make sure that this is a great setup that I can get into possibly earlier on my shorter time frame. I would like to be able to go over to this time frame and analyze that on the 15-minute, but I can't do that real easily. I'd have to go over here and note the time on the bottom and the date. And then I have to go over to this chart over here, scroll over to that same time frame and date. Oh, I did the wrong one. Sorry. No, that one. Right there. That's the same time frame and date of the other one. So you can see the big down bar, but the big up bar came back up, and it gave me a potential entry right about the same point that I did on the hourly chart, right about 167.72. Okay. All right, so we've got an entry there on the 30-minute chart. The entry came a lot earlier, 167.56. This is a 167.89. So it looks like I got a short little pullback here on this one. See the short pullback there? So the initial entry came here. It pulled back. This was the first pullback, and then you've got the overall trade entry at that point. So all 3 timeframes confirm that this is the setup and the time frame that I wanted to get into. And of course, the result was about a what was that? 122 pip trade, which is a very nice move for the setup. But it's so difficult to check it out and to look at that. So it kind of limits you on that that setup. Let me show you MT4Professional now. MT4Professional first comes up with a configuration layout to get you going. It always starts in the same setup, and then all you have to do is just pick which configuration that you're used to working with, or the one that you want to set up. All right. So if you pull up the EMA and price example that we were talking about earlier, then I want to be able to determine whether that is moving in the direction that I'm interested in. So first of all, I want you to see that I've got 3 different windows, 1, 2, 3 different time frames, 5, 15, and 30. But notice that there's a crosshair on these windows. This crosshair allows me to go to these specific points I'm interested in. Click once on the screen and it locks it in place. And then I can check not only the price, but the time. And I can see that correlated location on all 3 of my charts. So it makes multiple time frame analysis so much easier. Also on my scanner list over here in the control panel, all I have to do is just click on a single symbol and it automatically changes the symbols on all of my charts to be the symbol that I just clicked on. Really nice feature, really great to be able to do that. Also, if I were to minimize my window just slightly, look at that. The windows automatically redraw, even though they're different sizes and different layouts. So it's really a nice feature to have all of that functionality just with single click integration. I don't have to drag and drop all of these instruments to change them. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just use the system the way I've always used it, set up just what I want, the way I want it, and so forth. So anything you can do that on MT4, you can do on MT4 Professional, just better. Is the MT4 Professional limited in indicators as the MT4? MT4 Professional has access to all of the indicators that you have access to on MT4 or MT5. And it gives you the ability to use any of the custom indicators that maybe you've developed yourself or that you've purchased from a third-party provider. So in that sense, MT4 is just as functional and available as regular MT4 is. So MT4 Professional doesn't limit you in any way on the indicators that you want to use. Are there any questions on this so far? Looking at the configuration, I've got a second moving average here. This is the EMA and price. But what the EMA and price is doing, and instead of it just looking at the setup, I want to be able to see how the setup relates to a second moving average. In this case, this secondary moving average is a 50-period simple moving average compared to a 15-period exponential moving average. Okay, so I'm looking at this setup. So if we were to pull up the configuration itself and to find out how we've set this up to make it look like this and how we get these the scanner to give us these specific colors, let's go into the edit button. On the right-hand side is the chart layout. This is where I've defined that the 5-minute chart is bigger than the 2, 15, or 30-minute charts. And I'd specify the template that I want to use here as well. Now, we provide you with the EMA and price template from the cloud just by being part of MT4 Professional. That's the one that you see on the screen right now. But if you have your own template, then click the plus sign, and then it pulls you into the template directory of your application. And you can use any template that you've set up. Any template that you want to use, you can use that and pull it in and display it on your screen. And you can add different windows. You can tile them around, make them look like anything that you want. If you end up not really wanting it, then you can just move it back and put it back the way you had it before. So it's not difficult to use at all. If you have a chart layout that's on a different setup, like say maybe you have 6, 7, or even 8 charts and you don't want to have to set it up for every configuration, just click the start from another configuration button and it'll automatically copy the chart configuration from any other previous configured file. Right? Question came in, is the MT4 Professional a self-contained platform of its own, or do we use it as an add-on to your existing MT4? It is an add-on to your existing MT4 platform. So you do have to have MT4 or MT5 in place already. You install our software and it runs on and expands the MT4 platform itself. So MT4Professional is an add-on to your existing platform. So we covered the chart layout. Here on the left-hand side is the scanner panel. You click on it and it gives you the ability to edit or update your symbol list. You have access to all of the symbols that your broker provides you on the left-hand side. And then over on the right-hand side is the list of symbols that you're currently using. If you find one on the left that you want to add, simply select it or hold your control key down and multiple select others. And then click the right arrow button and that will add them to your list. If there's any on the list that you really don't want, then you just simply remove them with the X. And then once you have it all set, then just select OK. Once you do any changes, make sure you click the Save button to make sure that it's saved. All right. And then once you close the window, always hit the Load button to reload the software into it and save it to the cloud. And that way it updates and makes any changes that you've currently made into the setup available to you here. All right, now let's go back to the configuration and look at the scanner itself. What is it? What rules do we give it to make these colors the way they are? To do that, you go over to the scanner panel and then click on the scanner itself. These are the color rules associated with the spreadsheet layout that we have on the scanner. I say color rules because it's the rule that we use to determine what color to display, to trigger us to whether it's an event that we want to take. You can define any time frame and you can use any color rule that you want. By hitting the plus sign, that gives you the ability to create a brand new color rule from scratch. The one we provide you here in the example is called a main color rule. It's currently ticked on, and if you hit the little pencil box here, that gives you the ability to edit the rule itself. Within the main color rule, you can see I have two conditions. Right here is condition 1, and here's condition 2. Within condition set 1, I have two items that I'm looking at comparing. The first item, I'm looking at the close of price. I'm comparing it to my MA15. All right, that exponential moving average that's based on 15 periods. I need to see the close of price greater than or equal to that EMA. That's the condition I'm looking for bullishness. That's why this color is green. Of course, I can set the color to any color I want, and I can change these around to be any setup or configuration that I want, and I can choose the operator equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or less than and equal to. Okay, so that's set up in that way. Here, I'm also looking at the 15 period EMA crossing over the 50 period simple moving average. Okay, so this is just a simple cross and checkup. These are the conditions that have to be met for it to turn green. Price has to be greater than the 15 period. So if you go over here on the chart, see, price itself has to be greater than this 15 period moving average. And the 15 period EMA has to be greater than this 50. So all of these are true during this entire period right here, except for here, price is less than. So that would cause price is less than that, but the EMA is greater than the red. So that would cause it to turn yellow, because this condition is true, but this condition is, well, this one is true, but that one is not. But that just means that you're in a transition period. So bullishness, transition, okay, it's going back down again. Here we got the cross. Now we've got price under. Now we've got the cross there. This is a much safer place to enter because you've gone through all of the turbulence of the transition of the reversal. Now, this is just one strategy. It's not saying this is the best or a good strategy. I'm just saying that this is one strategy that you can look at to determine whether to get into or win the ability to enter a trade based upon a specific rule. Okay. Obviously, getting out at this point, getting back in again, getting out, getting back in, getting out, those are kind of choppy conditions, and they tend to really make your trading account go down. So sideways markets are hard to do. And so using multiple timeframes and looking at a secondary indicator as a comparison is a great tool once they're set up properly to help you to stay out of these types of trade environments and to always be in line with the longer term trend moves. Okay. So that's what this is doing for you. It automatically does that. So when this condition set is true, it'll change it to green. Just the opposite occurs when it goes red. And once it occurs, then it will trigger you and notify you either on your phone or through email or text messages that the condition set is met. Now notice I have it set for any time frame. I've got it on 3 different ones. I can add as many time frames as I want. And I can even display the data behind the indicator as well. If you select the actual data, then I will do this as an example, and then I'll just cancel it. You can add any indicator that you want. So any indicator that's available to you on your MT4 platform, okay, is there available for you to use. Even the oscillators and any of the volume indicators as well. So they're all there set up and ready to use. So if I were to add a MACD, for example, then you can see I can set the parameters for the MACD to be anything I like. I can choose whether it's an open, high, low, close, max, min, and I can choose whether to use the base indicator or the signal line indicator. Everything is set up and works perfectly. If you want to change anything, then you can set up the parameters to be exactly what you want in that aspect. All right. Any of the other indicators that have already been loaded are already available to you in the pull down menu. But if you need to add a new indicator or even a custom indicator, then you can just simply do that right here and add those there. Okay, KD. Okay, I'll get to your question just after the presentation here, but hang on. I'll leave the question up and I'll definitely get to your question in just a second. So thank you for your patience. So once you have that done, then it's completed. Now, if I click the plus sign, then I will be able to have an additional color rule that I can add to it. Notice I've just got one here, but the plus sign gives me the ability to add multiple color rules. So say I wanted to have one color rule on one time frame, but on another time frame, I wanted to have a different rule. Say that my longer time frame, I'm just looking for trend only. In my shorter time frame, I'm looking for a moving average cross. I'm looking for a MACD crossover and so forth. So you can have multiple rules depending upon the time frame that you're using or the strategy that you're trying to employ. Okay. Any questions so far? Other than KD's question, of course. So let me see. That's probably a semi-good stopping point. Katie said, your auto payment was missed because my debit card was locked for some reason. If I unlock the card to make a manual payment, will auto payment continue the attempts and I get double charged for the month? That's a good question. I'm not sure. There is a way to set up the auto payment without it being a problem for security, because it recognizes, or you basically whitelist our company as a approved payment method. Our auto payments are at the same time each month, and it's based upon the time that you join. But we usually do that the first thing through the day. So it'll be during the first 3 hours of the new trading day on the same day that you joined. So it usually will be the first thing in the morning, like just after midnight or between 3 a.m. or something like that. So that's when the payment will come through. If ever you do get a double charge, let us know. We'll give you a full credit for any additional charges to your account. And what that means is that if you do get a full credit, then that means that the next month it's not going to charge you at all. It won't even run an attempt because it'll already show that you've already paid. So that wouldn't be a problem either. So we'll always make it right if there's something goes wrong, and we'll always try to fix it up and make sure that it's done. Lawrence wants to know if we'll cover the Cobra system. Yeah, I think I do have a Cobra on here somewhere. Let me see, maybe not. There's one. Let me load that up just to see. I'm not real familiar with Cobra. I know it involves multiple moving averages and setups, but what this is doing looks like it's got a couple of Bollingers going on in there. So let me look at the configuration of this and edit that and see what it's doing. Entry, exit signals. So we got an entry signal and an exit signal, two separate ones. Looks like we're looking at the 72 and 12 period moving averages. Two of them are simple, two of them are exponential. Oh, we've got quite a bit more too. And it looks like it's involving the ADX as well, and making sure that price is open and close. So this is a specific strategy that involves multiple items of comparison. For time purposes, I won't be able to go into the details of each of those, but be more than glad to share this with you. I'm not sure if it even works. I haven't really worked on this, but it looks like it's set up. What are the indicators on here? It looks like, oh, I see. These are just all moving averages with an ADX. So it looks like it's using the plus and minus lines on the ADX to determine that with multiple average. So it looks like it's using EMAs, 3 EMAs, and 3 simple. So we got simple moving averages and exponentials, and you're looking at the crosses there. So right now it's not triggering on anything, but I'm not sure how that maybe because of the ADX or not. But like I said, I haven't really verified that this works or not, but I'll be glad to send this file to you, and you can play with it to see if you can get it going or not. Lawrence, what do you think about that? You're welcome, Katie. Do we offer a trading room service? No, we don't have a trading room service. Oh, it looks like it did trigger. This was what triggered that. Looks like something there triggered it. Okay, Lawrence, are you currently an MT4Professional user? If you are, then I can send it to you right now. Because we have a feature here called the share feature. And that allows us to share any configurations that we have with any other MT4Professional user. Let's see here, Lawrence. All right. So you're currently not one, but as soon as you sign up, let me know, and I'll be glad to send this to you. No problem. Trade room service. No, we don't offer direct trade room services, but we do have a Skype chat room. And that Skype chat room allows you to interact with all the other MT4 professional users. So you guys can chat up your own trade setups and services for yourself and chit chat amongst yourself. So that would be a pretty good thing. So once you join, then we give you directions on how to access that that setup right there. So let me drag my browser over here real quick and show you that if you go to MT4 Professional's website, click the sign in button, then it takes you to the members area. Once you're in the members area, you can see the first page you see is the onboarding process. We take you and hold your hand through all the steps. One of the steps is number 5. It allows you to join our Skype group, so where you can interact with all of the existing MT4 professional users out there on Skype and chit chat, video, share files, share trade setups, and so forth. So everything is there for your perusal. Right up here is the signal notifications panel. So here is a tool that allows you to see the scanner setup and the trigger that notified it, and then other announcements that we have. Just like there was a software crash that we had, we wanted to let you know about that and when the system was going to be down and reset when new software versions come out. So it's all available for you there in the members area. Also, there is the gear wheel. That's the settings. This allows you to go into your specific settings to change any of your parameters, your setup, your credit card information, to start or stop your subscription or anything is all available in the settings menu area there. We also give you access to our full knowledge base. It's an online version of the quick start videos, getting installed, changing things, configuration managers, and even the technical billing information. So it's everything is all right there for you, the click of a button. One other thing I want to show you while we're here is that there's a link on the menu that's called real-time scanner. If you were to click on that, this brings up for you the current real-time scanner that you have on the screen. Now, what this does is it gives you the ability to select the computer that MT4 Professional is running on, and it just currently displays the scanner that's being used in the demonstration. So, but this is on my browser. So this is like me being on my mobile device outside somewhere, and this system is running. So the idea behind the system running is that, excuse me, I don't have to be locked behind my computer all the time. I want to go to lunch. I want to be able to get out and interact with other people, but I don't want to be tied to my computer. But I want to know when a trade is set up. So what this allows me to do is take my phone, my tablet, my laptop with me wherever I go and be alerted whenever a trade setup is done. Once it does, then all I have to do is click on it one time on my mobile device. Notice that it automatically changes the symbol on my platform and updates me on my mobile device with a snapshot of the image that generated the trade setup. So it looks like it was a consolidation and then a breakout trade. So it looks like it's starting to break out on the continuation of the trend in the direction of the overall longer term trend. So that's what this is specifically saying on that setup. So that's the idea behind it. If I see something set up that looks like it's continuing like that, and I want to enter the trade, then even when I'm outside, I just pull up my broker's trading platform on my mobile device and enter the trade right there, and it's good to go. Or if that occurs when I'm wanting to get out of a trade, then all I have to do is just exit the trade at that point. So very, very sweet tool. So you can see you're not locked down to your computer at any point. All right, so let me get back to my presentation real quick because I want to make you guys a very special offer because you've been so patient to be with me today. MT4 Professional is available to you on a monthly subscription basis. It's a full featured application on MT4 or MT5. We don't give you any dumbed down software or anything else. We give you the full featured software, full access to it. We give you access to our exclusive Skype community. We give you access to unlimited configuration storage, emails, and push notifications, and up to 100 SMS text message notifications on your mobile device. That's all included in your monthly subscription. We also give you 14 different pre-configured presets and examples and strategies included to go along with that. Of course, you're not going to pay what we value as a almost $2,300 system. For a limited time, we've established that as $194 a month as the standard monthly subscription for that, which is less than even the access to the Skype group. What we've done is knock that down by 50% to give you $97 per month subscription. You have 14 days to try it out risk-free, and you get to do that with the link mt4professional.com/trial. I placed that in the chat box there for you to click on to be able to see that. And Karen, I haven't gotten to your question yet. I will. I'll be more than glad to get to that. But the trial, mt4professional.com/trial, gives you access to the full featured software. You can try it for 14 days without a single penny being pulled from your credit card. You can cancel anytime during the 14 days and you won't be charged a penny. But you still get the full 14 days to access the software. If you have any questions, then you can always contact us at support@mt4professional.com. That's our email address. Let me put that into the chat box as well, so you can just do it one click or copy that into your browser. So that gives a ticket and allows us to help you out and give you direct support on that. So let me go back to my platform now. I'll leave the link on the bottom there in case you want to get going. So I know there was a question about another configuration here that was a little bit more complicated. Here I want to show you this one. There it is. All right, this one had 3 different time frames. Instead of using these shorter time frames, these are using much longer time frames. And then from this configuration, if I were to go into the scanner, you can see that I have a color rule called strong signal. All right, so that strong signal. And I also have a separate color rule called trend color rule. All right, so that strong signal, what it's doing is it's looking at a MACD cross. The MACD cross is looking at the histogram of the MACD and the red signal line. So whenever this histogram crosses above this red signal line, that is a bullish cross. And whenever it crosses under it, like right here, that's a bearish cross. So I'm looking for a bearish condition. So I'm looking to see if the histogram, the base indicator, is less than the MACD signal line. Now notice I had to enter the MACD into MT4 Professional twice, but that's because I want to be able to compare one with the other. So one is set as a baseline, the other is set as a signal line. Okay. The next test I want to check for is that price is less than the 15-period EMA. And I want to see that the relative strength is rising. So what that means is I want to see this right here. I want to see that the previous relative strength has to be greater than the current relative strength. Well, in that case, that means it has to be falling. So that means the previous is greater than the current. that means that you're looking for a condition that's where it's going down, like right here. Because the previous in time has to be greater than the current price. So that means it's a downward slope that's going to be bearish. And that's the test I'm looking to fulfill. So if that previous value is greater than the current value, that satisfies my criteria. All three of these have to be true in order for me to get a red cell. If any one or any of those are not true, then that whole condition is not true. And then it goes and evaluates this condition set. It looks to see it, well, okay, well, if that's not true, then is the MACD baseline greater than the signal line? Is the price greater than the EMA? And is the previous relative strength less than the current relative strength? All of those are true, then I want to see a green cell. If neither of these conditions are true, either or, then it's going to paint the cell yellow, saying that it's in consolidation or it's in a transition period and it's not yet ready for a signal. That's the idea behind that. Okay. That's all I needed for that one. Notice I have two different signals. So now I have strong signal applied to my 4-hour and daily, but notice the weekly, it has the trend color rule applied and not the strong trend. So the trend color rule, all it has on it is I'm looking to see that price is greater than the 15 EMA. That's all. So I'm looking for trend direction. So as long as this price is less than this EMA, then I'm going short. But if price moves above, like it just did recently, then I'm moving long. And that's the indication. Once it's there, then I'm looking for my buy signals here and here. All right. Are there any questions? Very simple, easy to set up, easy to use. MT4Professional is fully cloud-based. So any of your configurations or scanner setups are always going to be backed up in the cloud. And you never have to worry about losing data at all. As a matter of fact, you can have a computer crash, hard drive lost. You can have your laptop stolen. You can always get it back and you won't lose your data because all you have to do is just reinstall the software onto an existing MT4 platform and you're good to go. Or even if you go traveling over to your brother's house and you sit down on his computer and he has MT4 running for you, all you have to do is install the software and pull your configuration up and you're all ready to go. And like I showed you earlier, you can share any of your configurations with any other MT4Professional user by using the share icon in the bottom right corner when you edit a configuration. Just simply click that icon, identify the user you want to share it with, and you can send to them the software directly in the MT4Professional platform. And it will appear on the bottom of your list in the received or inbox. So that way you can select and create your own custom configuration and use them as a template or a copy to be able to go by. Karen says, can I share my color rules? Absolutely. Which one do you want me to share? Let me know and I'll share it with you right now if you're an existing user. Katie says, on the weekly chart, does the candle color matter or just the price being more or less than the EMA? Yeah, the candle color does not matter. The candle color is kind of dumb anyway, because it will always be green if the close is greater than the open. It will always be red if the close is less than the open. So it really doesn't matter. What you really want to see, though, is that close greater than the EMA. And that's what the software is asking for or to tell you. You can check the color of the bar itself. That's fine too. But a smarter rule would be that. So you want the MACD and the RSI, that's the current one I have displayed here. So let me open this up then. Let me edit that and let me send it to you. There you are. All right, it's done. So now all you have to do is go into your select configuration. Okay. Scroll down to the bottom just to make sure that you received it. And if you did, click the Create Your Custom Configuration button. Then scroll down to the bottom and select the file that I just sent you and click Yes. And what that will do is that will create a custom configuration up here at the top under the Customs column. And any value or any configuration here in the Customs area will allow you to edit them. If you notice when you go through the software, any of the preset examples don't allow you to edit. And if someone sends you a configuration, it won't allow you to edit it either. You have to make a copy of it. You do that by creating your own configuration. It copies that, creates it here, and then you can just do whatever you want to with it. If you mess it up so bad you don't even know what you did, well, just delete it. Go down here and just start from scratch. These are like templates. And these are all the preset configurations that we provide for you when you subscribe to MT4Professional. On the weekly chart, there's a candle. Oh, I already answered that one. Okay. Then now, Karen, you said you had a question here. You had a fatal error which caused MT4Professional. What closes it? Now I have to restart. I don't know why or what's causing it. My partner also has a problem after I shared a configuration with her. Okay. If you schedule a time with me on my calendar, then I'll be more than glad to sit down with you one-on-one and work through that to see if we can't find a solution to your problem. Okay. So if you go to the members area, home, okay, then you can schedule time and look for our setups, the one-on-one. Right there. Or just use the link that we sent you in the email. When you first got started, you should have gotten a link to set up a custom call. I think I might actually have the link right here. Let me see if I do. Ah, there it is right there. There you go, Karen. I just sent you a link to set up the one-on-one and to schedule time on my calendar. And I'll be glad to help you out. Okay. The offers is good all the time. So you get 50% off of our regular rate, 14-day free trial. The link is mt4professional.com/trial. It's over on the chat box. Be sure and click the link. You can always contact us 24/7, support@mt4professional.com. We will get back to you within 24 hours with a solution, or we'll let you know a new timeline if we can't give you a direct answer. We'll be glad to make sure that everything is taken care of. So if there aren't any other questions, that concludes our presentation for today. Thank you very much for your time. We are going to be back in about 2 weeks. This has been recorded and will be sent to you via email in about 1 hour. So thank you very much for your time and attention. Take care, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks. Bye for now.